Hello, Nisa. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Before we start our session, though, I want to let you know that whatever you tell me today is confidential unless you're harm to yourself or others. Do you have any questions about that?
No.
Okay.
I understand.
So, to begin with, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
So I'm currently a senior and I'm looking to apply for a career job.
Hmm.
I'm a business administration major with a concentration in management and marketing, and I'm looking more towards the fashion industry. So currently, I want your help to guide me on how to go through my application process and look through my resume.
Okay. So, let me get this straight. So, you're a senior. You're
Hmm.
going to graduate with your bachelor's in business and management, you said?
And marketing.
And marketing. Okay. And then you're looking to get into the fashion industry.
Yeah.
Got it. So, you brought your resume here. We're going to take a look at it. Um, so it seems that you have your education on the top, and that's great. You have your GPA, which is very strong. So I literally strongly consider you keeping it there. So then you have that you've been a teller at TD,
Hmm.
and then I guess you have been in two positions in Armani.
Yeah.
Okay. And is everything that you have been doing there already, or
Well, currently I'm working for Volvo.
okay?
So that I haven't added on my resume, but I'm looking on a way to add that on my resume since I'm not working really on the fashion industry.
Okay.
So I want to translate that on my resume to to make it look more appealing.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from since Volvo is like working with cars and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
like it's like not similar to the fashion
Fashion.
industry. But like some skills that you're doing at your job right now can be transferable to what you're gonna be doing, and it's important for you to add that to your resume.
Yeah.
So the first thing I see here, I like that is very consistent. I think I will add a summary of qualifications right after education because research says that people only take 6 seconds to review your resume. So you want to make sure like that whatever you want to market yourself as, that they have an eye like straightly go straight to it. Okay.
Hmm.
So add a summary of qualifications right here.
So what would you say will be my strongest qualifications on to put up there?
Okay. So in summary qualifications is basically what you think you have done a lot of experience, what you feel you're
Hmm.
most confident in. So in TD Bank, you have, so it looks like in TD Bank you said provide exceptional customer service. And in Armani Exchange, you have a lot of like customer service experience as well. So maybe you can say like, like something about like um, experience in providing excellent customer service by, and then kind of list of the things that you have done.
Hmm.
And maybe that could be one of your bullet points. What else have you done here that you want to make sure that you kind of like market yourself more, especially that you're going to the fashion industry? Maybe knowing that you have experience with customers, so you know what they're looking for. You got experience of what they see and like what recommendations you have. What other things you think, what other things you have done will market yourself better for the fashion industry.
I think my experience in Armani Exchange as a visual merchandiser will
Mm-hmm.
like translate more into the fashion industry since I was doing a lot of floor sets and like dressing mannequins and stuff, and I think that will look well when it comes to fashion marketing, which is something that I'm interested in doing.
Definitely, I think that should be one of your strongest points. So maybe you can write a bullet point like,
I have a question. So,
yeah.
what is the difference between having a summary of qualifications and skill sets? Like, what makes them different?
So some of your qualifications basically, how I see it is like a little section like if you're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna pay attention to everything else, at least pay attention to this stuff. Again,
Mm-hmm.
people get a lot of applications, so you want to make sure that whatever you want them to know about you,
Mm-hmm.
like giving you that chance to go to that interview process, that they see it right there. Skill sets is basically telling you like these are the skills I have
Mm-hmm.
in case you want to have more information about them. But skill sets definitely like for example, you say you're fluent in Spanish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bilingual is something that is very like appreciated in the workforce. So maybe like a bilingual business professional, like you add it in your semi qualification, so that way they just know that you're automatically bilingual. They don't have to look at your skills, but have it there so you can see like you can apply these skills to your the job that you're applying to. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel like no one is using the objective anymore. Like they're just either going straight to the point, and now you're introducing summary of qualifications, which I've never heard of, which is interesting.
Yeah. Objective. I mean, some people prefer objective. I just feel like, um, because most of the jobs require a cover letter, you kind of already do. You kind of do
Yeah.
what like the objective is saying, because there's like a formula for the cover letter where, I don't know if you have done a cover letter before, but like you will start like saying like obviously who you're writing the cover letter to, and then your first is basically telling who you are, your education, and why would you be a good fit for the job, like a strong like end sentence. And then the middle will be like listing kind of like the things that you have done that can be beneficial to the company or the program that you're applying to. And then the third one is like kind of like mentioning their mission statement and why you really want to work at that company. And then last is saying thank you, and like if you have any further information, please feel free to contact me, whatever, and like further discuss your qualifications.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like maybe the objective is kind of fading away.
Yeah.
And again, I just feel like since now more applications are online, and like it's easier for us to apply to jobs. So like especially in the fashion industry where it's so competitive, people are gonna get thousands and hundreds of applications. So it's kind of like you need to use your space wisely and make sure you're as marketable as possible.
And I like that because now I got introduced to LinkedIn, and a lot of the jobs that I've been applying is through LinkedIn. And it's very straightforward, where an objective is irrelevant on a resume or overall your profile. And now I have a summary of qualifications, which makes it better, I feel, which I was not introduced to.
Well, that's good. So definitely you have one point. The second point, like you brought, maybe you can write like strong creative skills, experience in like, and you mentioned the things like I've done the visuals for the store, and you dress mannequins, so you kind of have that sense of how to dress and how to catch like the customer's attention. So you have that ability. So making sure that you write that there. And I recommend having a third one. It seems like customer service you're strong at, visual you're strong at. Maybe, I don't know, something like, I see you said you have a strong command in IBM, SPSS labs, data. So maybe like saying like strong command in collecting data or analyzing data. So I make sure like you are able to like work with computers and gather information and work from there. So I think that's another strong point that you can add there.
Okay.
Just like you mentioned there, I feel like you should also add your Volvo experience. What is your title there?
I'm a customer service representative.
Okay. So again, back to customer service, which you mentioned before, like you don't think is kind of like relevant, but again, it's working with people. You kind of need all those people skills wherever you go to, especially in the fashion industry. I don't know exactly where in the fashion industry you want to go. Like, do you have any ideas in fashion merchandising?
I want to do merchandising.
Merchandising?
Definitely. Or I want to do doing like a lot of the designs and displays, but I feel like, having the customer service skills and understanding how people behave towards, how they're viewing things on the store, which is what I've been dealing with, basically trying to understand customers. I think that would translate well. Looking for a job, I just don't need to understand how to write it down on a resume, kind of.
Yeah, and that's where like basically your creative side comes from. You can be very creative, like basically kind of not. I'm not saying kind of like buff up what you do, but make it sound fancy. Like if you have worked with customer service, you can be like, I have strong command of customer service, working with diverse populations, because you have worked with many people. Because working at a mall, you get to work with all types of people. So making sure that you let your future employer know that you have experience working with everyone, not just one population, and you're able to like, because people skills, believe it or not many people have great people skills. Not everybody has the ability to just approach someone and convince them to buy something, and you have worked at a very like expensive brand, so convincing someone to actually like buy something, that's a skill set. So you're able to kind of like sell a product, which is very important in the fashion industry. And then you're able to like make it look appealing, which not everybody has that creative side. So it's important that you do that, especially in the field that you're trying to go to. Have you done research on like jobs that are opening currently in the fashion industry?
I've been looking through LinkedIn and I've seen a lot of internships in the fashion industry. It's just like when you're going through LinkedIn and you see how many people are applying to a job, it's kind of like intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen a lot of like Gucci brands, like Gucci, Tommy Hilfiger. I've seen Hermes, all these big brands that are getting applications, and definitely I want to be one of the people who gets an interview. But like in the interview process or the applying process, your resume has to make it through.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So yeah, I think you shouldn't sell yourself short, because although again I'm completely aware that the fashion industry is very competitive, but think about it. There's many college students, first of all, that do not have a strong GPA like you, so it seems like you know what you're talking about. Like you know you're very good at your field of business, and then unlike other students maybe like that were more privileged, you actually work throughout your college, so you're able to have that time management. Like you can do this, you can do the school, and still succeed in both of them, which shows a great personality of yours. You're able to like kind of like manage many things at once, which in the fashion industry again is you must be able to multitask basically. So selling those strong points that you have, and although maybe you don't have really like I guess a direct experience like working for like a high-end brand like in the corporate, you have other experiences that maybe like those skills that you gain in those jobs can transfer them, and it's important for you to like list them even though you feel they're not relatable. So definitely customer service at 3 points of what you think you do most of them. Maybe look at your job description and get some of them right there and see what you do the most, and then translate it to your resume. I like that you have skills like proficient in Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Outlook. Are there other systems of that you're maybe?
Yeah, right now at Volvo, I'm learning SAP, which is another system which is not listed on my resume, but it's similar to Excel. It's just a little more advanced, and I'm learning how to do e-time, which is like a little bit of HR, a little bit. So I'm getting a little bit of experience in that, which I also haven't listed on my resume.
But definitely list those two. Maybe I guess because I'm not aware of those systems, maybe tell me what is SAP, and like then write me that abbreviation and all the stuff, because you never know if that they're looking for something, or maybe the systems they use are very similar to SAP, so they're like, oh, it's not gonna take me long to train this person this one because she got experience working with that one.
So you think under the skills I should write like SAP and then write like what it is and or what is the system about, kind of?
So I definitely think you should write skills, maybe computer skills, and then write the things, and then instead of like saying SAP, I'm pretty sure it stands for something. So like whatever it stands for something, and then like in parentheses SAP. So like they kind of have an idea, or they're able to Google exactly what you're talking about if they want further information. But if you want to explain like your experiences with this system, if you get to the interview, that's a great time to bring it up and remind them that you have this thing. Love that you have fluent in Spanish, or you're even intermediate in Portuguese. So again, maybe instead of bilingual, trilingual. So you're able to see more people because you're able to communicate with a diverse population of customers or clients. And then awards, I think this is very important. TD, you have gotten an award for excellent customer service. Montclair State, you have done research. And then Dean's List again. So that's great. I think these are all great things. Maybe another way to make yourself marketable, I don't know if you have like a strong connection to any of your managers in your previous jobs. Maybe tell them like to write like a few sentences at your LinkedIn, giving you a recommendation just in case someone goes on the link that you provided there, that they're able to see that you got recommendations, that you have a good work ethic.
Okay.
But other than that, I just feel like you have a very strong resume. Although, again, not directly to what you want to do, a lot of the skills I see here are very transferable. It's just a matter of you kind of making them like go towards that way. And I think that's where you can make it happen in the summary of qualifications. Just give me 3 points out of all your things that you feel that applies to the job that you're applying to. It's kind of like tailoring to everything you need. But other than that, it seems very good to me. So I'm going to let you have that. Do you have any further questions, or do you need any more explanation of something?
Yeah, like also like punctuation. I know that that's very important on the resume. Do you think I need to fix anything? Like overall, like past sentence. because sometimes when you're doing like a resume, you're sometimes like looking over it and like you're doing it really fast. But sometimes it's good to like have another
Definitely.
person look at it.
So I think you did really good here. Work, collectively, maintain, educated. Like all of these are past tense. And again, I think you did a great job by starting with action words because you always want to start your sentences with action words.
Mm-hmm.
And here, I guess you finished it because you're in Volvo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe now that I guess this change has been recent.
Maybe make this past.
Yeah. So
Okay.
instead of provided exceptional customer service by meeting all customer demands, trained and act as a mentor to tellers, assisted, perform, balance. It's just adding those EDs at the end. But other than that, I guess you just started your new job at Volvo, right?
Yeah.
As you can see, it's recent. So just making those before you send them
All right.
to once you graduate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you answer most of my questions. Any like tips for like when I go interviewing and stuff?
So the application again is a numbers game, honestly. So like, from what I've researched, because I've done some couple of research in my internship class, it's like you may apply to a bunch of them and maybe you won't get calls back. And it's important not to get discouraged because at the end of the day, it's very competitive out there. So it's just I keep applying, something's gonna bite eventually. So it's just never giving up. So just like get a heads up that maybe the first 3 jobs that you apply to, you might not get a call back. But that's completely normal.
Mm-hmm.
So just, be aware that that might be a possibility in the future. But again, you have a lot of good things. So maybe that won't be the case for you. But just giving you a heads up.
All right. Well,
All right.
thank you so much.
Yep. So if you ever do the little updates that I gave you and you want somebody else to review it again, you feel free to come back to me and I'll give you my feedback.
I'll definitely have to add the new experience and then the summary, which I was not aware of, that I definitely need if I want to stand out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.